The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long golden shadows that danced on the walls of the old mansion. Its weathered stones, covered in creeping ivy, stood as a testament to a time long forgotten. Inside, a dim light flickered from a solitary candle, struggling to illuminate the vast emptiness of the grand hall. The room was adorned with remnants of a once lavish life: faded tapestries, chipped statues, and a grand piano covered in dust. But among all these relics, one object commanded attention: a massive, ornate mirror that stood against the far wall, its frame adorned with intricate carvings of roses and thorns. This mirror was no ordinary mirror. It had been in the Montague family for generations, passed down from one to another, carrying with it tales of love, loss, and a mysterious power that only a few dared to speak of. Some said it held the souls of those who had gazed into it, capturing their essence, their emotions, their secrets. In the quiet of the night, Eleanor Montague sat before the mirror, her fingers tracing the delicate carvings on the frame. She was a woman of grace and beauty, but her eyes betrayed a deep sorrow that had taken root in her heart. Her once vibrant spirit had been dimmed by years of loneliness, for she had lost the love of her life, Charles, to a tragic accident 5 years earlier. Eleanor had been married to Charles for only a few short years, but in that time, they had shared a love so profound, so pure, that it had left an indelible mark on her soul. He had been her everything, her confidant, her partner, her best friend. Together they had dreamed of a future filled with joy and laughter. But fate had been cruel, snatching him away in the blink of an eye. Now she was alone, the silence of the mansion echoing her grief. Her only solace was the mirror, which seemed to call to her in the stillness of the night. She had spent countless hours sitting before it, searching for something, anything that would connect her to Charles once more. The mirror had a strange pull, as if it held the answers to the questions that plagued her heart. One night, as Eleanor sat before the mirror, she noticed something unusual. The reflection staring back at her was not her own. The face in the mirror was Charles's, his eyes filled with the love and warmth she had once known so well. Her breath caught in her throat as she reached out to touch the mirror, her fingers trembling. "Charles," she whispered, her voice barely audible. The reflection smiled, a tender, bittersweet smile that sent a shiver down her spine. It was him, yet it wasn't. This was not the man she had lost, but a shadow, a memory, a fragment of his soul trapped within the mirror. Eleanor's heart raced as she watched the reflection. She knew she should be afraid, but instead she felt a strange comfort. It was as if Charles had returned to her, even if only in this form. She began to speak to him, pouring out her heart, sharing her pain, her longing, her regrets. The reflection listened, its eyes filled with understanding and compassion. As the days turned into weeks, Eleanor's nightly conversations with the reflection became a ritual. She found herself drawn deeper into the world of the mirror, where she could be with Charles, even if only in this strange, otherworldly way. The line between reality and illusion began to blur, and she no longer cared. She was with him, and that was all that mattered. But the mirror had a dark side, one that Eleanor was unaware of. It was not just a portal to the past, but a gateway to a realm where time and space twisted into a labyrinth of shadows and light. The more she gazed into it, the more it ensnared her, pulling her deeper into its depths. One night, as Eleanor sat before the mirror, she noticed that the reflection had changed. The warmth in Charles's eyes had been replaced by something darker, more sinister. His smile, once tender, now seemed cold, almost mocking. "Charles?" she asked, her voice trembling with unease. The reflection remained silent, its eyes boring into hers. A chill ran down her spine as she realized that this was not her beloved Charles. This was something else, something that had taken his place in the mirror. Panic gripped Eleanor as she tried to look away, but the mirror held her gaze, trapping her in its unyielding grip. She felt a force pulling her, dragging her into the mirror's depths, into the dark side where shadows whispered and light faded. In that moment, Eleanor knew she had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. The mirror had taken her, claimed her as its own, and there was no escape.